I'm Michael O'Shea. I'm General Manager of KUBE 93 FM.
I originally wanted to put country on KUBE.
There was really no assurance that a contemporary FM station would be successful.
I actually said this to Charlie. I don't know if music on FM is really going to, I don't know if top 40 on FM is going to be, successful. I understand rock stations on FM, but I don't know about top 40.
Until I came along with KYYX.
KJR was in its final years as an AM music top 40 station, and KYYX was a good station on FM, but was running 20 to 25 commercials per hour.
Da, da, da.
And we came in on KUBE with a 51-minute music guarantee every hour.
The new 93, covering the Northwest with crystal clear stereo.
In crystal clear stereo, the crystal clear stereo combating the AM sound of KJR.
The most remarkable part, and only disc jockeys can relate to this,
that the songs were now in stereo.
Going from AM mono in your headphones to stereo. It was like...
To think I was doing it all these years in mono. Oh.
And we just muscled KUBE into the middle of becoming number one in a very short period of time.
If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free.
We wanted KLFM with the call letters that we wanted, but somebody had snagged them ahead of us. It was the last call letters available with FM in the letters. No others existed. Somebody in Boise or something like that snagged them, and we couldn't get them away. So we went back to the drawing board, and the only set of call letters that was a word was KUBE. We wanted to be along the lines of Como, Cairo, King. It said something, and KUBE was all that was left.
Ty Flint was my nighttime newscaster at KVI. And when I came back to Seattle to put KUBE 93 on the air, Ty was looking for a job. He's just looking for any kind of a job to get back into radio.
When I became the program director, when I got the job with Michael, I wanted a real strong news department, with a lot of credibility and a lot of actualities and, all this kind of stuff. And the guy that I wanted to hire, I can't even remember his name, but he was that kind of newsman, and he wasn't available.
And I introduced him to Ty Flint.
Finally, I said, okay, I will go meet with Ty.
It was no great scheme. We just had to have somebody that was going to read some news story.
It was like that. What was I thinking? This is a natural. This is wonderful.
From the shores of Lake Washington, this is KUBE, KUBE 93 FM. I'd like to thank everybody who showed up at Chi-Chi's last night.
Had a ball out there.
We did have a lot of fun. Thanks for
Hope your
showing
pants
up.
come clean, though. You got a little bean dip on your trousers.
Yeah,
There really was no grand design. It was just get on, do a great FM top 40 station.
Programmers like Scott Shannon that would call and say, man, I was in Seattle, I flew in to listen to your station, the mix of music is just unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. Like, we didn't know what we were doing.
It was a lark. I did very little show prep, and found that that's the way that I operated best.
Morning, KUBE, Seattle, Charlie Brown, Ty Flint, Mary White.
There was a lot of camaraderie between the people working there. We spent a lot of time together, not during work hours.
And that was the honor of the whole station. The whole station just sounded good and felt good. And we didn't have to manufacture it.
There was a turning point for KUBE, which was 91. KPLZ which had been a competitor of KUBE's for a long time, was doing an excellent job.
We were getting beat. KPLZ was beating us at the time.
Y'all want this party started, right?
And that was the beginning of KUBE 93 Jams.
One hit music station, KUBE 93. Power to the people!
The story that most people don't know is a memo that I still have that Michael O'Shea wrote at home that weekend to me, this scathing, you will not do this to my radio station.
So that was a huge departure, and that was a very difficult thing for the station to do. Advertiser reaction was not good.
I I wasn't really happy about that because I didn't care for urban music. There was some that I liked, though. So it was really time for me to kind of move on.
It was tough to see Charlie leave, just growing up with him in the market and working with him at the time. It was tough to see him leave, and you didn't know what you were in for because you were hiring this young guy from the sports station. You're like, wait a minute, how's this going to fit?
They were polarizing opposites.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, this isn't Charlie and Ty. You know, I mean, now you've really gone off the deep end.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make me.
His ratings very quickly, within 6 months, were very, 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 very strong. And then more and more advertisers began to jump on that bandwagon and believe in it.
Let's talk about sex for now.
KJR had a run from 1960 to 1974 of being number one. But when you get into just looking at CHR, KUBE has had an awfully long run too.
Charlie Brown knew 93.
KUBE beat KYYX in 1981. Now that's 21 years ago, and I think KUBE has probably led the CHR battle for 21 years.
You and me and KUBE.